Welcome back, dearest listener, to Queen of Daggers, Heart of Fire, our experimental Daggerheart actual play podcast. I'm your game master, Asteria, and I'm here in Newark, New Jersey, where we have just had our first true snowfall. It's beautiful outside. You're in late December. Players, remind me where you are all right now. J-Ben, who plays, of course, Lemma, our reluctant poet. Where are you?
We are outside of Boston, about 45 minutes in the town of Marlborough.
Any snow yet?
Yeah, we got a nice, maybe 2 inches yesterday. My wife had to drive home in it, was very stressed. My dog had to go outside in it and frapped around.
How many stress did she mark?
She had to mark 3 stress to drive through Greater Boston in the snow.
But
As someone who has been in Boston in the snow, don't blame her.
well, that's why you have a dog so you can remove some of those stress points.
Yeah, as a downtime action, she cuddled with the dog.
And Katie, our Evelyn.
Hello.
Where are you?
I'm in Chicago. We had snow on Thursday. It started about 2 hours after we got back from the dentist, and it lasted until basically right now. It's melting right now in front of my eyes.
Oh, we'll miss
So
you, snow.
maybe no white Christmas, but we'll see.
And Carmela, I won't ask you about snow. Carmela, of course, who plays Ginny. Remind us where you are.
I am in Jacksonville, Florida. It is cold as far as Florida goes. It's about 47 degrees outside right now. But no snow. I have not seen snow the entire time I have lived in Florida. I have gone elsewhere to see snow, but not within the city itself.
And David, creator, portrayer of OrLeon. Where are you this time around?
Well, I have left my home in Brooklyn, where I gather there is snow, but I am currently visiting my partner and his family for the holidays in the south of France, in Nîmes, which is a small-ish Roman city, or former Roman city.
David wins.
David does win.
And now,
Best city.
and now I'm in a world of hate.
I'm
It's
guessing
a trade-off.
Pas de neige. In Nîmes.
No, there is no neige.
Any jeans in Nîmes?
Any jeans?
Well spotted, young Lemma. Nîmes is indeed the origin place or the provenance of denim,
Oh my
which
God.
is de Nîmes.
It's eponymous.
And yes, I suppose there is some. I suppose there are some genes here. At least those I brought with me.
And probably some Jean.
Yeah, probably should.
Some genes, some Jean.
Oh my God, this went so crazy.
Aw, well, that was fun. That was a fun little conversation.
All of us are just trying to put off the inevitable death.
Yeah, you're all feeling good.
We were until you asked that question like that.
Yeah. Let's see how you ruin that for us.
Where did we leave our young heroes?
With lots of arrows coming
Yeah.
at them.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
We're under a volley of arrows at the moment.
A volley.
Volley.
It's not
For
so
David.
very many arrows, but more than you have seen.
More than we want.
Certainly more than 0, which would be the ideal number.
Yeah.
Yes, dearest listeners, if you'll recall, our heroes were on the road to Whitmorn, guided by good old Soren, who was rather nervous. Resolute, as always, but nervous, watchful, and perhaps now we know why. OrLeon's floating eye spell helped them see something odd in the road, a curtain of impenetrable darkness coming from nothing. And as they stopped before they could go past what seemed an obvious ambush, it dissipated. Another one appeared behind them.
Impenetrable darkness coming from nothing is a life goal.
My actual gender.
I see I have spirits to crush. Lovely. The curtain dissipated, nothing behind it, but there was something behind Soren. More darkness, whence emerged a woman who quickly had your guardian, your guide, in a ferocious chokehold, demanding your interesting belongings in exchange for not getting your throats slit. Our Evelyn thought quickly, and in a trice, your assailant was magically asleep, tumbled from the cart to the road, auburn curls flying behind her, and as Soren commanded you, down. Down was all he said as he guarded his neck. The arrows appeared. She was, of course, not alone, but you sense the rest of them are at least temporarily without their leader. And that is where we begin. Arrows hissing towards you all. I'd like to give a little shout out before we begin. I'm using the Fresh Cut Grass app to track our friendly strangers. Very useful for anyone trying to run Daggerheart right now. So I'm going to make a few rolls. Oh, and also, if you're following along with the mechanics at home, I settled up some fear tokens that I owed from the various shenanigans I pulled at the end of last section. So don't worry, I am holding myself accountable. Oof. Oof.
I hope these are good for us oofs.
Good for you.
Well, it'll say a lot about who Asteria is, if they're good for us or her.
Is that right?
Jesus.
I have to look this up. Hold on a second.
Y'all, I am so scared right
The
now.
bandits accidentally shoot each other. Combat ends.
Possibly.
They're like, did you see that? They put that person to sleep.
It's suddenly a Three Stooges act.
-1 attack modifier, the ones I chose.
If they don't have finesse.
Got sniper in their
Come
name.
on, -1
But they
attack.
count on intimidation and not launching an ambush against poets.
They took a calculated risk, but man, they're bad at math.
Let's not get cocky. She could be diverting us. She comes back with does a 37 hit you?
Yeah, we did start by not knowing if those were
Right.
oofs on her behalf or on our behalf.
I apologize. I was cursed by a witch. I have to make jokes or I'll die.
I know that witch.
What sounds and feels like surely countless arrows hiss through the sky. But you suspect that this was not the cue they were anticipating. Their leader passing out, and the arrows clatter against the cart as you all duck down successfully in ample time. And none of you are hit.
Ooh. Phew.
We're so lucky.
Yes, now one of you may make a move.
Is it a move for me to look through the floating eye and try to get a sense of the layout of how many there are,
Let me look.
who they are, whether any of them are going bald?
Do you plan on making fun of them?
I would say you could mark a stress to do it and then also do something else, since it's already...
Ooh, okay, great. Let's do that. Let's mark a stress and
Did
do
she
that.
use the word Shadowjack, or did
She
you
did.
just use? Could I make a knowledge check on
Yes.
what those are? I'm not using an experience or anything. I'm just seeing what I know. I rolled a 18 with fear.
That's
I'm just giving you actions. That seems stupid for me to do.
I think Lemma would also roll to see basically if this is a thing in life on the road.
Let me think about if Lemma needs to roll. 18 with fear is good. I think it sounds familiar. You've heard
I guess my question is, do they use power?
that. You don't know. What you do know is you've heard of bandits called Shadowjacks that, were rumored to be further away than this. From Vespertine and Whitmorn. And you're not even at Whitmorn, and thus you're on the other side of the lake from Vespertine, but even this is a kind of an odd spot for bandits. Yes, Lemma, go ahead and make a roll. You have an experience about life on the road, yes?
Lemma grew up traveling, so the risks and dangers of life on the road would be familiar to him.
Yes, and you can certainly add that experience.
17 with hope.
17 with hope. So even though you rolled technically lower than Evelyn with that hope, so you know what I just said, that they are bandits and were warned about. You've certainly never encountered them because, as I just said, your family would have avoided roads where they are rumored to be. They're not so numerous that, they're unavoidable. I think you realize now that this is something that Soren has been specifically worried about. That the times that he's been anxious about getting on the road, that Soren knows a bunch about the Shadowjacks. The way that he didn't hesitate to get down, is common sense in a way, but he didn't have to think. It's clear to you that Soren has interacted with Shadowjacks before and knows about them, and he specifically said he wanted to maximize time on the road during the day. Again, common sense, but he also told you to look out for shadows cast by nothing. So those Soren does not have any poetic powers you're aware of. He seems prepared for this specific threat.
Great. Are OrLeon and Evelyn still in the cart? Or Ginny and Evelyn?
That's a great question. So when you got down, when you each got down, would that be like, did you get down flat in the cart or did you get out of the cart?
Evelyn would have just dropped instantly in the cart.
I think, yeah, why would, I would dive down behind the wall of the cart rather than jump off the cart.
Yeah, I had hopped off when the woman grabbed Soren, so I would have ducked behind the cart.
I have one more question for you, which is,
Yes.
How high does the cart ride above the ground?
Probably to about Lemma's shoulder. Since you've been walking next to it talking to people, that's what I've been envisioning.
Lemma, again with the sudden purposeful urgency that he has adopted in times of danger, grabs the wrists of those in the cart and says to everybody, out and under, and pulls everybody beneath the cart. And depending on how much of a rallying force we consider that to have been.
Get a rally die.
Yeah, everybody give yourselves a rally die. Once per session, as your party prepares to enter a dangerous or difficult situation, describe how you rally them. And I'm saying that Lemma's kind of sense of purpose and confidence at the outset of this difficult moment is instilling us with a sense of knowing what to do. Give yourself and each of your allies a d6 rally die. Anyone with a rally die can spend it to roll it, adding the result to an action roll, reaction roll, or damage roll, or clearing stress equal to the rally die result. So basically, for anything that happens for the rest of the session, you can choose to add this d6 and get a bonus.
Absolutely. Understood.
Evelyn will absolutely do whatever anyone tells her to do in this moment. She's very frightened. And so she gets under the cart. And then I think she's going to yell out, "This is not an encounter you want to have. Go on your way and you won't get hurt."
You hear from behind the curtain of shadow laughter.
I took my great staff with me.
Or unless you'd like to make some sort of check to intimidate.
I'm not really good at that, so I'm not gonna. That was literal truth for her.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't think that you want to.
You don't want the smoke.
You don't want this.
I agree with you.
Yeah. So
They don't know that.
If they have to know the hard way, that's her.
So 3, I'm going to spend 3 fear to spotlight 3 rather tough-looking fellows. They're not wearing uniforms or anything, but they're in comfortable attire. These are people who move quickly and quietly.
roguey types.
Perhaps, one might say. these three move together towards the cart.
Do we not get the results of my looking through the eye?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot the eye. We did the knowledge check. I forgot. You're right. I forgot the eye. Where were you looking with the eye?
The eye is like 100 feet above us, and it's looking down, so it's scanning the area, I would say, with it. I mean, basically from the distance that the shadow wall would be and somewhat behind, it's trying to look from above the shadow wall, and it's what am I looking? I'm trying to see how many there are, who they are, what I can understand about the sort of physical geometry of the situation.
So what you see as everyone dives under, you see behind this curtain of darkness, 3 toughs and 2 archers, 2 obvious archers with their bows out, looking sheepish. There's 5 people behind that curtain of darkness. You know that there were more than 2 arrows fired, but there are only 2 people with bows out from that spot. You know, they're looking a little cramped behind this curtain of darkness, but that's what you see there.
Has Evelyn already said what she said?
While you're looking, you hear Evelyn yelling that.
Well, time-wise, am I allowed to take my action as they're laughing?
Yes.
Okay, so as they're laughing, I would like to use...
Are you going to turn into something?
I would like...
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not going to turn into something just yet. I'm going to do something so stupid, and then I'm going to be so embarrassed about it later. It won't be the first or the last time in this game or in my ridiculous life. Okay, what I want to do is use Wild Touch to make, as they're laughing, to make the, like the road is surrounded by woods, right?
Not like outside the conjuries, but wooded, yes.
Okay, I want to make as much as my power will allow me to do. I want to make the trees within earshot of us shake a little bit and drop their, like, if they've got acorns, if they've got anything hard to drop, I want them to do that in response to the people laughing.
Basic Wizard of Oz play.
And which feature are you using?
I'm using Wild Touch, which allows me to harmless, subtle effects that involve nature.
It's the druid's prestidigitation.
Yeah.
The intention with it is to express that nature itself is reaffirming what Evelyn has just said, that they do not want to engage us. After all, we have just put their leader to sleep. Like, we are as a group, like, it is a show of force that we are connected to things. We are scarier than we look. We are connected to things bigger. And so nature itself is affirming in the face of their laughing by trees shaking and dropping acorns and dropping whatever.
It sounds like thaumaturgy. Like you're using it as kind of almost like an intimidation.
Did you say thaumaturgy?
Thaumaturgy. It's a D&D spell that works very simply. You can basically create some sort of like minor wonder illusion, and you can use it as an intimidation thing, which is kind of what you're doing. You're using a harmless spell to scare them.
To create that must have been named by a dramaturg, to create a dramaturgical effect, or I suppose a thaumaturgical effect. That's the goal.
So it sounds like you are looking to do something specifically unsubtle, and Wild Touch says subtle. So if you would like to do this, it's definitely going to cost you stress. You're really going to have to push to get this to be something that's noticeable to them. And I think it's going to cost you 2 stress to. Okay,
I will.
Because this is beyond what you usually do with this.
Okay.
But the season is right for this, OrLeon.
Okay.
Glory has been released. You can feel the thrum of something new.
Yes.
In the
devil on your fucking shoulder, man.
I would. So I am happy to use those 2 stress.
How many stress do you mortals get? Okay, yeah, you've got 2 stress.
I also think that my new experience of heartbreak, which is still fresh, makes me particularly emotionally raw. And so my need to communicate something explosive, emotionally explosive, I think is, I think that might be enhanced by my recent experience of heartbreak and the emotions that I am carrying with me at this moment.
I think that's going to come in later
Okay.
when we see how effective this
Okay.
is. I love it.
Okay.
I love it, darling. So I'm going to allow it if you mark 2 stress. Could you describe it again?
Yes. In response, with proper dramatic rhythm, in response to the laughter that I see from these 5 people behind the wall, or the laughter that I hear and seeing that there are 5 of them behind the wall, it is in as wide a expanse as I can surrounding us as possible, given my powers, which are albeit limited. I would like the trees to shake as noticeably as possible and to drop whatever they can drop onto the ground, including things like nuts and acorns, particularly anything hard.
I would like you to roll a presence check. You already get 2 because that's your presence. Add another 2 for your heartbreak experience, and add advantage because how poorly the snipers fared just now actually supports.
And you could use the rally die now if you wanted to, but you might want to use that to clear some of the stress later.
Yeah. I was thinking like this is sort of a moonshot, and I'm not sure. There may be something more important to use the rally die for later, but
I'll tell you now, success on this is not going to be they all run away and the combat is over, but this could be very good.
Okay. So far I've been able to add 4 and
lot.
a d6, right?
Which is really good.
Okay.
It's a lot.
So I'll roll the d6. I got a 2. Wah, wah. Okay, so now
only plus 6?
That's plus 6. And presumably I have to decide whether to use the rally die before I roll, right?
I'm not sure. What does it say, J-Ben?
And you can spend it to roll it, adding the result to an action roll, reaction roll, or damage roll. It doesn't say.
Feels like any time.
Yeah, the wording sort of suggests to me that you can employ it after you see the result.
Like you're rallying to make the thing that you're trying to do work.
Yeah, I think you can decide after.
Okay.
Usually it says if you have to decide before the roll, it says so.
Roll your duality dice and see what you get.
Okay. I got a 15 with hope. Plus 6 makes it a 21. A 21 with hope. Is that strong, or should I add the rally die?
They could not hit the broad side of the cart with their arrows, so let's just stick with the 21 and save that rally die.
They have sniper in their name, which is why I was so annoyed to see they have a -1 attack modifier. Yeah, so.
Oh, so I've used 3 stress, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we got ways to clear stress.
Well, we'll get you. It's fine.
I've used that. It was 2 additional. It was 1 plus, so it's 3 total, right? Okay.
So you are watching the effect of this on the 5 of them, and this is affecting specifically those 5. If there are any others around, it's not reaching far and wide, And you see them stop laughing. All 5 of them. They look around. The archers look down at the bows in their hands. They are all shaken. In mechanical terms, I am marking 1 stress for each of them, and for the tough guys, that is bad.
Classic tough guy being secretly fragile.
How many, you can't tell us how many stress slots they have, but unless you want to.
I will tell you that they seem a lot easier to attack now.
Okay, fair enough. They probably dropped their evasion. Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
They had 1 stress, and they are now vulnerable.
Oh, these poor guys. Okay.
Yes.
And now Jenny's like running at them.
Or I will be.
Information of the way stress works in Daggerheart. Once you've reached the stress threshold, any further stress is just a straight hit point, right?
Yes.
Great.
So you could stress them to death, possibly.
Or we could be stressed to death.
It's a little harder to stress.
My life, am I right? Yeah, I'm gonna scramble out from underneath the cart. Well, I was already behind the cart. Is anybody else going to come out from under the cart, or are you all just gonna stay down there?
Evelyn is staying under the cart.
Yeah, I think I'm staying under the cart.
I can fire from there if I have to.
Okay, fair enough.
But can I say there's 5 of them behind the curtain?
Yeah, you can always talk.
Oh, okay, great. Everybody, there's 5 of them behind the curtain. 2 of them have bows and arrows, and 3 of them are, tough guys. Tough guys who don't look so tough anymore.
And Soren is already moving to the other side of the cart, the other side from the shadow.
I do call to Master Soren. Master Soren, are you okay?
Yes, you take care of them. I have this side.
Did arrows come from both directions?
Yes.
Maybe we should be looking in the other direction then while they're doing this.
Yeah.
So for sure, I'm looking back, trying to scan and using the eye to try to scan the other directions.
That we will resolve later.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to run at the nearest tough guy, and I'm going to attack him with my axe.
So to be clear, they now have not retcon because I screwed up the order. They have not. You have not seen them yet. They are still on the other side of.
Oh, well then. All
of
right.
this curtain.
But I did just say there are 5 of them behind the curtain.
Could choose
3
to run-
tough guys and 2 snipers.
Does it? I could run through the curtain.
Yeah, it's just shadow. You cannot see through it, but as far as you know, I mean, you could just
don't run through.
Not the curtains.
Well, you say it's.
They can see you. You can't see them. No, do you?
I would trust what OrLeon says that they're behind it. So
I would say you don't know that to what extent they can see you.
I don't think it matters to me. These people just attacked Soren and my friends and me. I'm going to run through the curtain. And I'm going to run through and I'm going to swing my axe into the first guy I see.
You run through the curtain and essentially bump into 3 confused tough guys.
Yeah.
Who have a couple of archers behind them.
I'm just a goat girl with an axe running through shadow.
So you can take an attack. At least one of them will get an attack back.
That's fine. I mean, I did just run through shadow, so I got a 14 with fear for my attack.
I will take the fear, but that does hit.
Okay.
And you have downed one of the tough guys.
Okay. Like knocked him over?
Like killed.
Oh, I haven't rolled my damage yet. That was just my attack roll.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. They're just dead. All right.
So yeah, these are what we call minions.
Fair. So I just ran into him and killed him.
Yeah. Has Ginny ever killed anyone before?
Killed a person? I don't think so.
And we haven't seen it because it was on the other side of the shadow, right?
No, we don't know what just happened. We need to ask, are you okay?
I don't think I realized I killed him because I wasn't expecting him to die immediately.
Let's talk it through. So do you think you were expecting, honestly, people like humans?
I mean, I trusted what OrLeon said in that there were people behind the curtain, but I didn't expect them to die immediately. I would have expected to fight them off and kind of drive them away. Did not expect me slamming into them with, my body to kill them.
Well, you also hit them with your axe.
I did hit them with my axe.
Ginny, you charge into the unknown through this curtain of shadow. As you pass through it, it's a very odd feeling. You can tell it's made of the ward in a way that feels a little prickly, almost unfamiliar, even as a poet. And as you're thinking that, you barrel through and knock into one of these men, and you do force him back a little more easily than you expected. These people do look tough, but they're not tougher than you, which is easy to forget sometimes when you're in danger. You are very outnumbered back here, and I forgot to tell you that you had advantage on that attack, but it didn't matter. You didn't have time to think. You swung, and your axe struck. Of course it did. That's what it's for. That's what it does. You've used it on wolves, and this did and did not feel the same. And that's as far as your thoughts get. as an attack comes towards you.
Okay.
And your evasion is an 8. The attack misses. Everyone is, I believe, confused, but I'm going to use a fear token. And the third one does hit. So I will roll damage. Some kind of blade, you're not looking closely, gets you for... I rolled 5 damage. I'm not sure what your armor situation turns that into.
Even if I use an armor slot, because my armor would only reduce it by 4, I would still take a damage, so I'll just mark the hit point.
The one who gets you looks at you and still looks bewildered, does not know what's happening.
Same.
But also you can tell that the sight of blood, the adrenaline of this is regrounding them all, refocusing them. And I'm going to have Soren do a perception check. Soren changes position slightly and crouches. Who has not yet gone? I think Lemma has not done anything yet.
Just use the rally action, which...
Oh, right.
Whether we consider that to be a battle action or a pre-battle action, I think is like an interesting rules question, but I'm happy either way.
Probably the way it shook out did happen after combat began.
That seems totally fair.
I'm going to spotlight another adversary, and Soren is in the right spot for better or for worse, and turns out for better, because he was ready for what's coming, as someone appears out of nothing, it seems. Well, you don't know how. Just anyone who was watching, someone appears from hiding, and you have no idea where they were hiding, and attempts to stab Soren in the back, but misses.
Evelyn's going to want to put them to sleep.
And I forget from last time, is that a roll?
Yes, it is a spellcasting roll, and I have to be very close. So if I have to crawl closer to wherever Soren is, then we determine that's like 5 to 10 feet.
And I have my ranges here. Yes, very close is 5 to 10 feet. I think you're probably... Yeah, I think you're about 10 feet.
Great. Then Evelyn will attempt to put them to sleep. Rolled a 20 with fear.
Okay, slumber is good.
I don't want to kill people.
There's just a slumber party around this wagon.
And you can cast it on unlimited people.
I can cast it at will. It is my at will.
I'm going to take a fear, and...
But the action itself gives you the means to counter it, so...
That's true. But I'm not going to use my GM action to counter that. I'm going to use my GM action to rouse the first person you...
Yeah, I know. The other option was to try to gag her or something, and I was like, oh no, Soren's in trouble.
The woman who's been left at the... Soren should have thought of that, honestly. That's on him. He really should have thought of that.
Do your job, Soren.
That's the problem when your strongest ally is played by your worst enemy. I didn't do it on purpose, but I just wasn't in that headspace. Yeah, and this woman wakes up. Lemma, you see her open her eyes, and you make eye contact for a moment. And then she remembers where she is, and she looks around. She sees her fallen comrade, and she yells, "They're poets, you idiots!"
I tried to tell you.
And she scrambles up, and that is her turn.
To her feet or away?
Just to her feet. And the archers are going to go again.
Do we get some sort of circumstantial cover for being under the cart?
Yes.
And prone,
Yes.
basically. Really hard to see.
And also they're shooting at us through fog.
Yeah, you guys under the cart are basically, they're not shooting at you. Soren and Ginny are...
Ginny's behind the
curtain with 2 archers.
those archers. Are the rest of the archers going
Yeah.
too, or it's just those 2?
Yeah, the other 2 archers are going to shoot at Soren.
There's 4 archers.
Well, now I've given it away. The Ginny archers. This makes sense. One archer got a natural 1. She is standing very close to you and terrified. And the other one rolled a natural 4. Ginny is fine.
For now.
Ginny is immune to arrows.
Physically, yes. Emotionally, we don't know yet.
Soren, I think, is taking an arrow. Yeah, that one missed. You freaked out these archers. They are.
They're stormtroopers, not archers.
Is anyone looking at Soren? Is anyone watching Soren?
I am looking at Soren.
And you see Soren as soon as the person who attacked him goes down. He is out of Soren's mind, and he is back to scanning for these other archers that he knows must be somewhere.
Do I see them yet with the eye?
On your turn, you will.
Okay.
And he dodges these 2 arrows. He knows where they're coming from, and he is out of their way. And I'm going to spend 1 more fear. Come on, roll well. Oh my god. What did you do to him? I'm gonna have to... I'm rolling with my pirate dice? Why is this? And this is good because I do love Soren, and I don't want to have built him up for this and then
Kill him in the first encounter.
yeah, and like
I will never forgive you if Soren does.
he is good at this. This is what he is trained for. But man,
I know you want you guys to be able to do something.
yeah. But so another person emerges from hiding out of nowhere and actually leaps down from the cart and tries to stab Soren in the back. And he does some strange move. He makes distance, and the person misses wildly and looks sloppy in a way that you know they're probably not. OrLeon, your eye.
Yeah. What is my eye seeing right now?
You find the 2 remaining archers
Okay.
behind a hill that they're, popping up behind a hill to fire. You realize that the first curtain of shadow was completely a diversion. There was never anyone behind it. These archers are just hiding normally. They're not that far away. They're like 30 feet, 40 feet.
There's 2 archers and 1 tough guy left.
2.
And 2 tough guys left behind the curtain. There's 2 archers, right?
Yeah, do you know that she took one down, or did you move the eye already?
I mean, how far away is this? The eye is above looking down. So, like, I don't know how hyper-focused.
Is it like
How-
rotating?
Yeah, it's like,
Oh, that's fair.
it's kind of scanning around, like a radar, giving me continually watching trying to watch what's happening. So I feel like,
Sure, if you can see the details from that far up.
right. Well, I could probably see that someone went down, right? 100 feet isn't that high. I think I could see that a person went down and is lying on the ground, no?
Yeah, you're right.
And like, I think my eye would have followed Ginny through the curtain. And I sort of feel like it's trying to follow the action as best it.
That's fair, yeah. So yeah, you do see that. You see that there's 4 up on the other side of the shadow curtain, and 2 archers over the crest of the hill, and 2 sneaky types in the road, that one of them is asleep. And you see that the initial assailant is back up.
And the one who just jumped down from the cart?
That's one of the sneaky types in the road.
That's one of the, so there's a sneaky type in the road who tried to stab Soren and missed, right? Okay.
So it's 9 people alive,
Okay.
though one of them's asleep. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah.
Okay. OrLeon, filled with adrenaline, having lost his connection to all of his dark feelings on the other side of the caudal ward, now finds that here in this body, in this moment, he is filled with a sense of rage, fury, and excitement previously unknown to his brooding, mellow self. And this propels him for the first time into beast form, which he did not previously know existed. He turns into the creature that most expresses the aggression, anger, and thrill that he is feeling, which is a bear, otherwise known as a brutish beast, a brutish bear. And does it take the turn to activate beast form, or do I get to take an action as a beast when I activate it?
Let me double check. I believe you get to take.
I love that Evelyn is suddenly under the cart with a bear.
No, I'm rushing out from. Yes. You're right. I've turned into it under the cart. No, that's even
Wait.
better. You're right. You're
What?
right.
What is happening?
I don't know.
I put the bear to sleep.
It doesn't say you take an action. I rule you just transform. You do mark a stress, but you can take an action now.
I have a stress. Okay. So my action is I want to, again, propelled by thrill and fear, run at the leader who has reawoken, and I want to grab her and hold her and lift her as high as possible while roaring as loudly as possible in order to subdue her and strike fear attract attention and strike fear in those around. And as a brutish beast, it says to scare and to protect are two of the things that a brutish beast are good at. So I am attempting to scare them all, scare all the adversaries out of desire to protect our brood, our pack, our group.
This really would be, and men have lost their reason if you can scare them. It might be why they called it that.
I also think I can spend a token, I think, left over from when I rolled with fear before, which gives me my Know the Tide, which means when I make an action roll, I can spend one or more of these tokens to add a +1 modifier to my roll. I guess I will add that for now, and then I'll see about the rally die, depending on how my roll goes. Or I wonder if it's the same thing. With the Know the Tide, do I spend it before I roll or after?
So it's going to be an attack roll, though it sounds like you're not trying to do damage.
I'm just, in terms of the attack part, I'm just trying to...
But whether you successfully grab her, we're going to do the attack roll still. So
the Know the Tide says that you need to add them before you make an action roll.
Okay, so then my question is, does my action roll, so it's an attack roll.
An action roll. Sorry, it doesn't have to be called an attack roll. It's just an action roll.
Does what I roll also apply to my desire to strike fear in everybody? Or is it
That will
only...
be a separate roll.
Oh, that'll be separate.
It's going to be one roll to successfully grab and lift her.
Oh, okay.
And then if you succeed on that, that will definitely help scare everyone.
Okay, I'm not adding the Know the Tide to my attempt to grab her. That seems like it should be a relatively easy thing to do. But as a bear, I have +1 strength, yeah. And I don't know what make strength D10 +4.
It's melee, not make.
Melee,
that's
sorry.
damage.
Yes, melee, right.
No, it's a little hard to read.
Okay, melee, yeah.
So that's damage, but you're not you're not
Right.
clawing her. So we're not worrying about that.
What I would like to do is squeeze her enough that it weakens her while I'm doing this. I mean, I would like to apply that force as I'm...
Interesting. Then we might roll a damage and reflavor it. But first, let's see if you get her. Which is a decent evasion. Better than yours.
Okay, I got an 11 with fear.
And that's with adding 1?
No, adding 1 makes it a 12.
That just misses.
Okay.
So roar and rush at her. She has just gotten to her feet, but still in her grogginess, again, the adrenaline kicks in because a bear is rushing at her, and she manages to dive quite elegantly out of the way. You can tell that this is the kind of thing she's good at, being quick on her feet. You can still roll to frighten people around you, but you'll not have as many additions to the roll.
Yeah, I think I can put a little in love with death at this, because it is my first hand-to-hand combat. It's my first time as a bear. Fuck it all. I'm pouring my death drive into this act of intimidation as I roar and stretch out my arms and crunch up my face, displaying an utter lack of fear of death and thus of anything.
All right, spend a hope to add that.
Okay, I will spend a hope, yes.
And this will be a presence roll. I'm just thinking about where you are physically.
I'm going to add my Know the Tide to it.
Great.
And I've still got Lemma's Rally, which I can add after I roll.
And just so you know, not every adversary has the same number you're trying to hit. The woman in front of you is going to be harder to intimidate.
Yes. I got a 17 with fear, so that's then +1 for Know the Tide, makes it an 18. My presence is +2, so does that make it a 20?
Yes.
Didn't you use an experience too?
And I used the experience a little in love with death.
So that's 22 with fear.
22 with fear. That seems high.
That is high.
But I don't know if I should add if I should add the rally die. I guess why not, right? Like it's kind of a big move. Yeah, I'm gonna add the rally die. 4. 26.
26 with fear.
OrLeon is big on theatrics. He's got a flair.
He's a flare bear.
That's what we've learned today.
He scares one of these poor guys to death.
Did you say flare bear? Yeah.
Very dramatic.
Ginny,
Yes.
you see none of that and hear all of it. The adversaries you're dealing with are in the same boat. They hear, they're poets, you idiots. And then they hear a massive roar. They hear a person turn into a bear who does not care if they live or die. They hear that in the roar. And these are the archers who suddenly cannot hit anything and have experienced the woods warning them. And both archers try to run away. You can get an attack on one of them if you choose.
So I have just killed a person. I hear the bear, and I'm looking at these people, and I'm going to say through gritted teeth, back off. And I want to use my experience intimidating presence. Because I imagine just killing this guy in front of them and, taking that damage with no problem. And then with the bear, they would be pretty scared. So I would like to make a presence roll to intimidate them and use my intimidating presence, if I could.
Just pausing to think if you need to roll at all. So the archers are gone, and you're sparing them. Because I was going to say the two remaining bruiser types were not going to run away just yet because you'd killed their friend.
Mm-hmm.
They were committed. But you did that final thing. You allied yourself with this bear, and you do have intimidating presence. They are going to hesitate, and they are going to back away. They're not going to run away, but they are going to back away, and they're going to lose a turn. And one of them is going to say, "Look, it didn't have to go this way. What's going on out there?
Didn't have to go this way because you didn't have to attack us.
What'd you do to Kiva?"
Back off.
And they back off with their hands up. I think what they're making clear is they're not going to abandon their people,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not going to attack you. So it's a little bit of a standoff situation. Let's pause there because I want to go back to what's happening out there with OrLeon. So the woman that you lunged at as a bear is suitably wary. She's a little bit of the cockiness has drained from her. Intimidated is the wrong word, but she is focused. She is keeping you at a distance. She is wary. She is trying to figure out what to do about this. She knows she can't outrun a bear. And I will spend a fear token, because this is kind of a big move. Very close range. I think is going to be everyone but Ginny and Soren, because Soren was in very close range of Evelyn. So it's going to be OrLeon, Lemma, Evelyn. I'm going to make a spellcast roll. Well, I'm going to spend a fear to roll it with advantage. Who has an evasion of 9 or lower?
Oh, wait a minute.
But do you as a bear?
No, my evasion is +3. Boom.
And I rolled it twice. And I used the digital dice. I guess you're never going to learn about the Shadowjacks.
There's a dead one I can talk to.
That's true.
The three of you feel the shadows around, your own shadows, pulling at your clothes or fur, as the case may be, ineffectually. And she shakes her head, like she's still shaking off the effects of the slumber spell, and something's not working properly.
Evelyn would like to make a knowledge check using my School of Knowledge thingy. So this is, you've gained priceless knowledge through great study. You have advantage on all knowledge rolls to recall information. If this roll is about the magical nature of a creature or enchantment, gain hope even on a roll with fear.
Yeah, that absolutely qualifies.
Great. I got a 22 with hope.
What's your question?
Full with hope. About this enchantment, about what she just tried to do, about, her facility with Shadow. I read a lot.
You read a lot, and you don't study that much directly with Primer Mantua, but she runs your conjuries.
I go to her lectures. Yeah.
Evelyn goes to all the optional lectures.
Yes. She sneaks into the back.
I audit every single class.
You're familiar with the basics of a sorcerer's elemental shadow magic, like Mantua's. You're also familiar with a different kind of shadow magic that you're not familiar, you've heard of, because, again, you were raised in academia and you hear all of the primer chit-chat at department mixers and soirees and such. There's sort of maybe a kind of poet that is not...
Like a wild mage type poet, like a untrained, I can touch the power, but nobody's ever taught me how kind of poet.
Well, you're not sure about that. It's not that there's a kind of poet, but there's a kind of poetry that they know exists, but no one's quite sure why or what the positive use of it would be, why the queens would...
It's called acrostic poetry.
There's
Sorry, that was rude.
Well, it just a little bit steps on a joke I have for later. Yeah, there's a kind of poetry that is not nourished or taught, because why would it be? And
shadow magic.
Yeah, and you're not totally sure why that's different from what Mantua does. But
is there a way to tell whether all of this has come from her, the two shadow walls, the people, or if she's got like a band of shadow sorcerers here? Doesn't seem like she does, because most of them seem kind of ineffective.
Hey.
I'm just saying that's what Evelyn has seen.
They all take 6 psychic damage from that burn.
Yeah, from my vicious mockery.
You are definitely seeing... It seems like she is by far the most powerful. So you got a 22. What was your total?
22 with hope.
22 with hope. Then with the hope, I'll say you think that she is the most powerful shadow curtain drop, and you think that's because she couldn't
maintain all those things.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I know if there is any formal, like, what is done with people who practice this, if they're found? Is there some kind of poet prison or something, or are they dealt with in any way, or there's just rumored about that the nature of their magic makes them too difficult to find or track? Or
it's a little more along the lines of like, oh, we shouldn't teach magic that can only be used poetry. Sorry, only be used for bad things. All poetry can be, and you get punished for doing bad things.
Right. There's nothing specific, like there's a watch of poets that round up people who are practicing this.
Not to your knowledge.
To be fair, also, we just released the Queen of Bones.
No,
I feel
totally.
like probably
Yeah.
if there are poet police, we might be, we might not want to call them.
Hey, the Queen of Rain had us right where she wanted us. Let us
But
go.
that's also a good point, that there's this whole thing you don't know about. First of all, queens being exiled, I think this train of thought for Evelyn is maybe what is up with authority?
Yeah, it is. I think that's spot on. Is that she's just like, are we the only ones who know what's going on right now? Like, is it?
Are we the bad guys?
Yes, that's a constant. Are we the bad guys? Deep
Should
in
the
the
rules
moral
be?
quagmire of what we've done and what its effects are, and we don't even know if what she does and what just happened here has anything to do with that. Maybe that's why they're not usually in this place. Maybe they are gravitating toward an event that happened that we caused. Maybe there's lots of questions. So I think Evelyn right now is just trying to figure out, like, how do I handle this person and negotiate
Yeah.
with her?
And I think you are realizing there's a lot you don't know about how your own world works, and that's troubling.
Yeah, and I'm a little
Not
mad
just
about
because of Evelyn likes to know things, but like, why weren't we taught about the heresy of
Yeah.
hope? You know, why don't I know what
it.
happened?
Why don't we know there were more queens? Why don't we know that?
What?
Like, if this is something that is meant to be protected in a world that is meant to be sustained in this way, then why aren't the people who have the power to do something taught, hey, if you see a name on a wall, maybe don't read it? Like, why has that not been passed down to the people who are out
Somebody
there?
should've
Yeah. It's just like, we can exert our will upon the world and change it. We can all, the four of us can all do that. We are taught to do that. And there are people in towns and other places, and it's irresponsible not to tell them what is possible. And that's not on the primers. Obviously, they don't know either. It's on the queens. So that's a hard thing for her to reconcile in her sort of gravitation toward authority and doing what is expected to her, for her, on her, of her. Every word you can possibly imagine in front of her. Yeah, so that's where she's at.
Soren's going to take
Great.
a turn. He's got a decent attack mod, so he will just hit that.
That woman who appeared above the cart who tried to stab him.
Yes.
So that woman she was already intimidated, no?
She was outside the range.
Soren was outside the range too, so.
Yeah, she's kind of the furthest away. She and the except for the other two archers. So I don't know, actually.
I mean, she's closer to us than the ones fighting Ginny, no?
No, this is a good question.
Yeah, you said after the intimidation, you talked about how that affected the ones behind the curtain, and you talked about how it
I'm gonna mark
affected
her a
the leader,
stress.
but not the other three, or four. One of them's asleep.
I'm going to mark her a stress and give Soren advantage, see if he crits. Does not. But she is absolutely intimidated and hesitating. She's not going to attack on her next turn if she survives this attack from Soren. With a very adept strike, he's going to do a lot of damage. He's probably just going to kill her now anyway. He did exactly enough damage to one-shot her.
This is the one who appeared out of nowhere, not the honcho.
Who jumped out of the cart. Correct. Then he makes a very deft move. He turns towards the honcho, as you say, and sees a bear. And his good eye widens and narrows. And it is clear to anyone watching him that he does not know what is going on or whether this bear, whether to approach.
It's OrLeon. It's OrLeon. It's all right, Evelyn says quickly.
Does he know us? Is he friendly? Is he friendly?
Well, it's OrLeon. He was as friendly as he was before.
Do you know this, or are you guessing?
I saw him change. I've never seen him do that before, so I guess I don't know. But he did go after the woman and not us, so logic says.
Who would like to go next?
Well, Lemma hasn't done anything for a while. I think we're all really anxious to find out what Lemma can do, so.
I feel like Lemma's feeling comfy.
Lemma's like, hey, I've gotten everybody under the cart. No one's taken damage yet. We're sitting pretty. Yeah,
Right.
This is going great. Lemma's happy to let. Well, I guess OrLeon's already taken a turn this round, right? Because OrLeon turned into a bear, or was that wrong? Or was that last round? What does this mean?
What is around, anyway?
Well, the woman cast the spell on us after that.
Yeah.
Right.
And then all the other adversaries kind of lost their turn.
They were all scared, very scared.
And the only enemy that we can currently see, there's one asleep, and then there's his OrLeon, is this bear. Lemma leaps into action. He sees the situation. It looks like it's under control. He darts out of from beneath the cart and attacks the bandit leader. It didn't work, but this person tried to hurt him and his friends. So he uses rapier.
Okay, you are going past the bear, but not directly
Yeah,
past the bear.
I saw it happen. I'm not scared. I'm on board with the bear. Surprised, but it's far from the weirdest thing I've seen in the past 24 hours.
I think this may as well happen.
Yeah.
One of your friends ran into a shadow curtain, the other one turned into a bear.
Right. Lemma's like, I can process this afterward.
All right, attack.
13 with fear. And I'm going to throw an inspiration on that, a rally die.
All right.
That's going to be an 18.
That will hit. Please roll damage.
So that's total of 7 on the roll, plus 2 for the innate bonus, plus an extra 2 for having it paired with the dagger. So 11 damage.
Is there such a thing as non-lethal damage in this game?
Yeah, it's called not enough damage.
It's called being a quitter.
Reduce that to... for the record, I started her with some armor slots already used.
Because these are not the first poets she's attacked today.
And I feel like it wasn't new armor to begin with, possibly. Maybe taken off someone. But anyway, you do some damage. You get through the armor. Mechanically, I've reduced it from a major to a minor. And she looks, and as your rapier goes partway into her side, she looks at you quite surprised. It's actually, I think, been a while since someone got that good a hit on her. And I'm going to use a fear to give her an attack back. She gets you with a dagger for 3.
I know there's a darkness curtain, but how close is Lemma and this lady from Ginny right now?
You know what? Realizing how the reason the curtain was used in the first place, pretty close.
Okay. The guys in front of me are backing off, and I hear this commotion behind me. I would like to use an ability. I am your shield. When an ally very close to you is going to take damage, you may mark a stress to stand in the way and take the damage instead. Reduce the damage by a value equal to your strength trait, and then I can reduce it further with armor slots. If I mark a stress, can I whip out from behind this darkness curtain with my shield and place it between Lemma and this lady and take that 3 damage instead?
I'm going to charge you 2 stress because you can't see
Sure.
it. You can only hear.
Fair
what's
enough.
happening.
I will agree to that. I'm going to mark 2 stress and do it.
Jabin, yeah?
Yeah. No, I have nothing to say. That's what Ginny would do here.
Yeah, and I didn't ask you your evasion because she rolled a 21.
Oh, well, damn.
That just hits.
I finally rolled.
You finally rolled well, and then so I'm going to take that 3 damage, but I get to reduce it by my strength modifier, which is +3. So I take 0 damage. So no damage for anybody today.
Wow. Lemma's teeth are bared. He's like ready to take it, kind of wants to take it, and he's watching the blade come towards him in slow motion, and then a heavily armored, muscular fawn. So like, get down, Mr. Presidents.
Out of the darkness, you just see a shield go clang.
We have this woman, a bear, menacing her. Lemma sinks his rapier into her side, and before he can remove it, she swings a dagger towards him. But instead of making contact with Lemma, a fawn leaps in front and gets her shield between the blade and Lemma. She looks at the bear. She looks at the fawn. She looks at Lemma and exclaims, "Dagger and bones, what else you got in that cart?"
Oh.
I'm going to spend 2 fear tokens. David, you were going to ask something about beast form.
I was going to ask if I could talk during beast form.
You cannot.
So my goal is to subdue her in order to make her call off her minions and end the attack. Yeah, I think I want to try the same attack again. I want to try to grab her and hold her squeezing her in order to weaken her. What I'm trying to communicate with this gesture is I will keep squeezing harder until you surrender.
Please make an action roll.
I rolled a 17 with hope. And so that's, I suppose that has, okay, I take a hope token and it's a strength roll, right?
Yes.
So I think I have 2 strength.
The bear has a +1, I believe, which seems low, but in any event, you succeed.
Okay.
And you grab this woman and hold her aloft. I'm just seeing if she has an ability that helps her out here.
Evelyn would like to take an action.
Go for it.
Call your people off. Tell them to come out and drop their weapons, and no one else needs to be hurt.
Aye, and what are you going to do with them?
Well, we can talk about it, can't we? But this fighting must stop.
They're not going to come out. I can call them off, but Shadowjacks don't surrender.
They just run?
They wait, or some of them run. They know not to make themselves martyrs for me.
And who are you, exactly?
Kiva. Kiva of the Shadowjacks, I suppose.
How many are there?
All right, Jacob, none of that. And the 2 fear tokens I wasted were to wake up that slumbering person and have him hide underneath the cart.
I'm pretty sure I am still under the cart. So while I'm talking, I would have
Really? You didn't even come out to negotiate?
come out to
Okay.
negotiate. I just
Well,
failed
I think
to
that
say
might
it.
change
So
things a
sorry. Yeah, no. She's brushing grass off her knee.
And anyone who looks does not see Jacob
Because he's gone invisible now.
because he's hidden, not
Yeah.
invisible, hidden. Apparently, just based on the way she's yelling, Soren grabs him from behind the horse. That you'd have to imagine him in a cartoonishly horse-shaped pose to have been hidden so well. Grabs him and holds him. Anyone else back there? Just hold.
Can you dispel that curtain there? And any others that might be around here?
She pauses just a moment to dislike that, and then she does. And you see the 2 larger of the Shadowjacks still waiting.
Is this your territory or something?
The ward's our territory.
The ward is your territory.
Why? The Shadows, I suppose we called them, obviously, but why? Knew it as the ward once.
My understanding that this is an unusual place for you to be, an unusual area.
You're not wrong.
Why are you here?
Something led us here, I suppose. There's been a change.
Drew you here, or you received instructions to come this way?
A combination, let's say.
Who do you receive instruction from?
Guidance. From my father.
From your father?
I didn't invent the Shadowjacks, did I? They've been around a long
Your
time.
literal father? Because we all know she's obsessed with how
Yeah.
people are related to one another.
Who's got decent perception?
I do.
This is instinct.
I have a +2 to instinct.
+3 instinct.
Yeah, and anyone who thinks they're likely to notice something like this, and I think Ginny is a good candidate. I think that's when you realize Kiva is something you might not have encountered before, which is a half-elf. You know, the ears are not as prominent as on Primer Mantua, who's a full elf, but she has distinctly pointed ears. And so she says the Shadowjacks have been around a long time, and she references her father. You think, oh, her father is an elf. Literally, her father.
It's probably her actual father, Evelyn.
But that's... Can you put me down, love?
I look to the others for their...
Evelyn
for-
nods.
This is a person, yes?
Yes.
Sometimes.
I've seen it done, but not up close like. You're all poets?
Yes, we are.
Well, she looks at Soren. Maybe not all.
Doesn't matter.
Is this manipulation of shadow that you can do, is that native to your heritage?
Sorry, do you put her down?
First, I very slowly release the tension around her, and then I, as slowly as I can, put her down. and as slowly as I can, release my arms, paws, claws, legs. I guess it's arms, front legs from around her. And I continue, I stand right behind her and make sure that my breath is going down her neck.
And
Evelyn shivers.
anyone looking at her front who has good instinct, reading people, does that apply to any of you?
I have an experience that makes me good at reading.
Oh, right. Right, of course. You see immediately she has a moment of just her body wants to act. Her body wants to get out of the situation. Her habit is go for the knee on that one, cast this spell. And there's a moment of her releasing that. It's not even exactly fighting it. It's like powering down that part because there's a bear breathing down her neck.
Yeah.
And someone who could instantly put her to sleep. Her archers, they ain't arching today.
And Lemma did stab her.
She has a hand lightly over that spot. It's not a bad wound, but she doesn't seem to be in much pain. But, her hand's just over it. And she ignores the last thing that was said to her and looks to Jacob, whom Soren is now tying his hands. How many of us? And she looks at the bruisers too, and one of them answers, Wells, they got Wells. And Jacob says, and Mariah. Wells and Mariah. She nods. It says, you're not bad, you lot. You're right. There's not much profit to be had usually on this path. It can be dangerous getting this close to Whitmorn.
Why?
Well, the Vermeers, they don't take kindly to bandits. They can be a little more trouble than they're worth. But
And we know that's the family that's like
yes,
in
that
charge of...
the Vermeers are a noble family that govern the city of Whitmorn. But things have been different the past day or so.
Different how?
Oh, you haven't felt it.
I didn't say I hadn't felt it. I want to know what you felt.
And she smiles. Did not roll very well on perception. Like I said, the ward's our home. We've got to... She chews on the next thing she's going to say. Some of us have a bit of a different relationship to the ward. Most of you lot fear it, exploit it. I mean, we fear it, but we don't mind that. That's sort of why we like it.
And of course, it's profitable.
Well, yes, that's part of it. You gotta find a way to fuel this life of ours. Any of us.
And do you never think of turning these skills, talents, to better use?
Better than what?
Well, not stealing
Why
from
not?
people.
What's better than that?
Evelyn nods and dismisses this line of questioning, understanding who this person is a little bit better now.
Don't know what you think life is for, but we're a part of it, for whatever reason. We're just
Yes.
the lucky few willing to explore that other part of it.
Tell yourself whatever you need to justify your actions, but I'm wondering if we can't exchange information about what's been going on the last couple of days.
So you do know. And she makes meaningful eye contact with Jacob.
I bet they have a telepathy spell between them. Evelyn makes meaningful eye contact with Lemma just to compete.
Two can play at that
I
game.
also have eyes.
Well, if you want information from me, you'll have to come back with us.
To where?
To our camp. Meet me dad.
I growl.
Evelyn wants to go right now.
Kiva turns around with a toss of the curls, looks up at the bear, and pets him. You're a pretty one, and you're awfully fearsome. But I'm starting to suspect I've got something you want.
You haven't seen the least of what we can do, what we are capable of. So if your intent is to bring us back to your home and ambush us there, I think you'll find it will be more of a challenge than you suspect.
Boy, that's exactly what you should be worried about. It's a daft thing I'm asking you to do, but again, this is just a hunch. And she unlaces just a bit the top of her shirt and loosens it. This woman's about 25, 26 maybe, a little older than you, but she definitely looks like she's, been around. You're not surprised to see she's got a tattoo on her chest. Evelyn, I think you're likely quite surprised to see that it's a tattoo of those 4 sigils from that book you remember. The plow, the raindrop, the dice, and the knife. Don't know if this means anything to you, but if it does, then I think you are why we are on this road.
Evelyn thinks to Lemma, we have to go with them.
Lemma telepathically nods
Evelyn is starting to understand now.
and catches Kiva's eye, and with a level of mistrust and contempt that might be surprising to his comrades, says, I do not know when you will die, but I do know that when it happens, it will be because there was a large gap between what you thought you were capable of and what you really were. Do your best to make sure that doesn't happen while we visit your camp. And this is, by the way, in accordance, Lemma believes this is absolutely true. And this is in accordance with his Orderborn dedication, speak no ill but the truth and no good but what is deserved.
And
Evelyn swoons a little bit.
there is a gleam in Kiva's eye. I think you might like it where I'm taking you. You've no fear of the Lady of Madness, I can tell. Not that that'll be our first stop, but again, I've got a hunch. And she gives you, Lemma, a wink.
There's like this like visible kind of physical response in him. He really he is enraged being joked at by this person.
She has already looked away towards Soren. You there, you're familiar with us, I can tell. Gather whatever you need into this cart. We're going to bring our bodies in there too. And I'll show you how to go. As he starts to comply, says, yes, I am familiar with your kind. And maybe with your name, Kiva. You were at Darksong, yes? She shrugs and says, life for a bit. That's another life, and a short one at that. Enough questions, come on. And they round everyone up and get in the cart as you head off the trail and into the woods.
Before we go, before we
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think Ginny's
before
just
we
gonna...
walk into this wolf den, I lean over to Lemma and I say, are you sure about this? They attacked us.
Lemma looks Ginny dead in the eyes and says, yes, they're vermin, but they have what we need.
All right.
Is OrLeon just going to stay a bear and get in the cart with us?
I actually do kind of want to interact with OrLeon a little bit too.
I think so. I mean, I think right? Like,
Scritches you. She can't help it. She can't help it.
I think I'm more useful as a bear right now. And I've never done this before. I've never been in this.
Maybe you can't come back.
Maybe I can't. I
Be a bear
mean,
forever.
We don't even know.
I don't know.
I do want to go
As-
talk to Bear Leon there. Yeah, it's just before we get into camp because I don't know what's going to happen when we get there. I would like to talk to OrLeon for a second, or at least try and figure out because I didn't see him change. So all of a sudden there's just a bear here. I walk up to OrLeon or Bear Leon at this point, and I go, OrLeon, questioning, I'm asking you if you're you.
I look at Ginny in the eyes in a way as if to communicate, I see you out there.
Okay. I think I would understand that. And I very, very carefully, almost like a question, try and touch your fur. And as I do that, a weird to me, because I have not felt it in a long time, like a hearth fire warmth creeps up my arm and out my fingers and into you. And I'm going to use Sparing Touch. Once per long rest, you can use an action and touch a creature to clear 2 hit points or 2 stress from them. So as I do this, I'm going to clear 2 stress from you since you took a lot of stress in that round. But this is kind of the first time I have used any kind of healing magic since my kindling. So this is weird for me. And I don't do it on purpose. It just happens.
I think Evelyn might recognize it. It's not the same power that she has, but it's from the same domain, I'm pretty sure. I think she's a little oh, I can do that, but it's a little bit different. It's so interesting the way you do it. Like she's a little academic
Mhm.
about it, but very gentle, not like, oh my God, Jenny, you can help me.
So I think in this moment, this is kind of above table, I guess. Ginny doesn't realize that that's what she's doing. She remembers a warmth feeling, but OrLeon, I think at this point you feel a little better, but I don't really explain why. You don't feel as stressed as a bear, but you're still a bear.
Happy calm bear.
Where is everyone else with wounds and stress?
Before we fully enter downtime, there is something that Lemma wants to do. I guess we could call this a downtime action. But before we load the bodies in the cart, Lemma goes to the remaining invisible, like the remaining sneak, and somewhat brusquely asks, what were their names again?
Mariah and Wells.
Lemma nods crisply, kneels between the bodies, holds their hands, and administers like the bare minimum last rites in his tradition, which is the speaking of an elegy. And in the elegist tradition, it has to be an honest one. So he says, let us mark the passing of Mariah and Wells. They perished attempting to kill and steal, and they will suffer on the other side as they made others suffer. He drops their hands, kind of unconsciously wipes his hands on his shirt front, and returns to the cart.
Evelyn has a very idle thought, which she telepathically transmits without really meaning to Lemma, which is, oh, I think I could talk to them.
Jacob says to you, we don't need that, and you don't know what you're talking about. And that's all he says. He just looks away from you.
Great. Lemma just stares back at him. It wasn't, and Lemma's energy, he's not trying to spit in anyone's eye. He believes this is necessary, but also this is the truth of them that he knows.
Honestly, he's giving you a little bit of Lemma energy. He just said something he thought was true and neither desired nor needed a response. Now he's done.
Emotionally detached acknowledgement in return.
They're soulmates. This is the unlikely romance.
This is classic enemies to lovers.
Anything else in the cart before we...
Yeah, if anyone else is hurt or stressed and wants to chat with Evelyn, she's got plenty of hope to give.
Well, I mean, I did lose a hit point, and I do have 2 stress marked. I don't think I would ask you, but I am walking beside you.
She's not completely unobservant, so if she noticed that, she would sit. And especially after she saw what you did with OrLeon. I think she recognizes probably that you didn't know that you were doing that. And Evelyn's way into this is, of course, to talk to you. She would start by asking questions about what happened behind the curtain. And while she was doing that, she would start radiating that same glow. And the more Ginny responds, the stronger that glow kind of becomes until you feel a little better.
Yeah.
And you can heal a hit point or a stress, so I'll let you choose.
I'll heal the hit point. I'll leave the stress there. I think I deserve the stress, and I say to you, while you're doing this, I said thank you, but I'm not entirely sure I deserve that. I killed him, Evelyn.
I know. I think it would be foolish to think we would get through all of this without doing something that we never imagined we'd do.
Yeah.
There were very many of them and much fewer of us.
I didn't realize you would be right behind that thing.
Of course you didn't. They take a risk with this life that they have chosen.
I guess we did too, right?
Yes, we did. And I know this is of little comfort, but your intent to protect others speaks more of you than anything else.
I looked down at my hands and I just mumbled to myself, for the good of the many. And I clear a hit point.
Where is everybody with stress and damage at this point now?
Evelyn's totally good.
I have 2 stress marks.
Yeah. So I have 2 stress and you have 2 stress?
Mhm.
And how's Lemma doing?
Lemma, I think, has 1 stress from a previous situation. Lemma, nothing happened to Lemma. Something almost happened to Lemma, and then Ginny exploded.
And then there was Ginny.
I would have to leave beast form, but I can use clarity of nature to clear 3 stress distributed among us. I'm just wondering whether it's more useful for me to stay a bear for intimidation.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
wondering too.
I think for right now, I think you're fine as a bear. If you wish to stay as a bear, I'm not.
I can literally talk to you for a couple minutes, spend 2 hope, and clear 1 stress from you to at least get you down. I don't think that we should walk into this
without a-
encounter without resources, and I think we're gonna talk. But
Yeah, I think so too.
Because right now you're barely stressed, but you're still stressed.
2.
I just can't resist.
I can't. I told you I have to make jokes or I'll die.
It occurs to Lemma. Lemma doesn't mention this because he doesn't want to tell Evelyn what to do, but it occurs to him that telepathy could be used to communicate with OrLeon in this state.
Would you let the wizard move out of your head?
She is reluctant to let go of the telepathic connection between you because she can do this with OrLeon by revealing something about herself, which is something she secretly craves doing because no one ever asks her anything about herself for like her entire life, but also because you are such a closed book most of the time that she at least feels that this connection ties you to us when otherwise it's not clear. She doesn't articulate that, but if you were to say that to her, she would say something like, "Oh, no, it's fine. I can do this."
Yeah, Lemma, of course, says nothing.
Evelyn will sit down with OrLeon and start telling a story about how when she was little, her father used to tease her that there was a bear outside the room and that it would, like this whole thing. And that for many, many, many years, she always believed that there was a bear that lived behind their cottage on the campus of the Conjuries. And it was a little bit devastating to her to find out that he was just teasing her. And spent many years after that wondering why would you do that to someone for your own amusement. So that's the story she tells. She'll spend 2 more hope. She's still got 2 left, and you can clear either 2 hope or 2 stress. I'm sorry, either 2 hit points or 2 stress, and that's a per long rest ability. So she's done with that for the day.
OrLeon's processing a lot.
Yeah. I'm sure this helps.
He
Poor. He felt all of this rage and like heartbreak, and then suddenly like he turned into a bear, which he didn't know he could do, and now he's got all these people like clearing his stress.
But in his response to, was it Jacob? To Lemma and Jacob's conversation about death, he was feeling overwhelmed. Already his emotions are running faster, though they started to slow down after Ginny touched him. And the realization of his circumstances, as OrLeon begins to feel his emotional charge decrease, he feels this body that he is in no longer like an expression of himself, but as a costume he is wearing. He feels himself retreating to his shattering awareness of how little the world makes sense. He knows that to him there is no other side beyond death, and yet there is something in life that is indescribably precious. And as he hears Evelyn's story, to the extent that a bear can laugh, OrLeon laughs as he removes 2 stress.
Kiva is sitting up front on the wagon seat next to Soren. They're not looking at each other. She's actually sat backwards on it, like with her legs in the wagon. They're sort of tersely chatting occasionally. It's less of a whimsical sitting backwards and more of a we're sitting next to each other but not pretending to be friends kind of way. And she hears a bear laugh, and you see her start. That does faze her. She's never heard a bear laugh before. And so she starts and kind of blinks and shakes it off.
OrLeon turns his head to her and growls.
She now laughs. Not at the growling, but at the situation of a person who is a bear laughing, and she is now its captive, sort of.
OrLeon, we'll take that as a win.
And you get the distinct sense that she is enjoying all of this. She's enjoying, on some level, she enjoys a life where a bear person might rip her to shreds. And that's a new way she might be ripped to shreds, as this is the life she has chosen.
Do I have time to ask her something?
Yeah.
But let me ask you something first. Lady of Madness, have we heard that phrase before? We have.
You have.
Do we know who it references?
You heard it very briefly.
Lord of
Poet
Bones and Lady of
Hawthorne.
Madness?
Lord of Iron.
Lord of Iron.
It was a primitive creation myth that you heard from poet Hawthorne.
Okay.
When Hawthorne said it, didn't it ring a bell from the Book of Art or something? Wasn't there something in the Book of Art that also related to the Lord of Iron and Lady of Madness, the art book?
When I heard that, I had the fleeting feeling of the art book slamming.
That was what you heard in the hushed argument between
Yeah.
two people you now remember involved,
At
a parent.
Presbyterian. The Lady of Madness, you said.
She starts again, straightens. Aye,
To whom does that refer?
so you've heard of her, or you haven't?
I have, but without much context.
Well, it's a lot to say all at once, or they'll start calling me the Lady of Madness. You catch my drift. Actually, I wouldn't mind it. Not a bad title for... In any event, what do you know about the Queens of Lacuna? What do you know that you think most people don't know?
Lemma feels Evelyn stuttering in her mind of how to possibly respond to this question.
My ink meant something to you.
I've seen it before. I've always known it as an old creation myth.
Right. All right. Aye, and the myth being that she's who created Harrows and Rain.
Sort of the parents.
She's... I'd say
This is my next experience that I'm building up to is like family tree.
you'd call her their mother, I suppose, her being a lady. But there's no father or nothing. She just created them as gods do.
Have you not heard of the Lord of Iron?
Ah, so you have heard more.
I like to dull things out.
The myth.
Plato in that way.
I can tell. Them I've not heard of. Are they other... Well, you'll tell me more at camp about Plato and...
I read a lot.
Lord of Iron was another of the... You don't mind if I use the word god, do you? Lady of Madness. They were rivals and lovers and friends and all of that before any of us mortals were scampering about. But they created their children as a sort of friendly competition, but also to please each other, I think. And so Madness created hope.
And is that all Madness created?
As far as the stories go, you know, aside from creating generally what she always did, chaos. But as they tell it, when she made Harrows and Rain, she was trying to show the Lord of Iron what she could do. You know, not just a one-trick pony. That's why Rain has that flair for chaos, but Harrows is more
Orderly.
purposeful, I think, is it? Doesn't always have to be tidy, but intentional, like.
And did the Lord of Iron create anything?
It would be a heresy for me to say he did, wouldn't it?
Lemma barks out a single harsh laugh.
I pop up at this point. I would assume that where there's hope, there's got to be fear.
That's why all those folks who called them the Queens of Hope they met an ugly end, didn't they? People blamed the queens for it, but a lot of it was just other folk. Who knows which queens to blame, but that's, fortunately, I know a madman who's not afraid to speak some heresy.
Is that your father?
Oh, we've got a quick one. You'll meet him soon.
Too clever by half.
Oh, and looks like we're coming up upon my folk. Just over here, Mr. Soren. And she swings her legs around and calls out to... You can see we've been going a bit slowly now because we're not on a path. We're going through the woods. And Soren stops the cart. It's better to leave it here than to bring it all the way in. What?
I was definitely gonna say it. I was like, you can let her get away with calling him Mr. Soren?
Oh yeah, and I suppose if you all whip to Soren to see if he's going to correct her, he does not. He's not telling a Shadowjack. Oh, it's just Soren.
Thank you, Master Soren.
Does Ginny say that?
Yes.
And he just slightly shakes his head. No, it's so not the time.
I'm being very moody as a teenager at the moment.
Evelyn thinks to Lemma, that's pathological the way she does it.
You see the trees have thinned out into more than a clearing. You see a field with hills behind it and tents and wagons, a central campfire with a few smaller ones around. More woods to the side that actually grow thicker. She calls out, "All right, lads, I'm a prisoner, and I suppose so are all of you. You've got some very gracious captors here, so, be hospitable and all that. Lorelei," and her voice gets more serious, "Lorelei, we've got two for you, I'm afraid." And a young woman, approaches. There is a little bit of the people nearest you do seem a little, there are murmurs. Jacob, whose hands are quickly untied by the bruisers amongst you, is going and telling people, and you hear mutters of Mariah and Wells. The young woman approaches. She's probably 16, maybe 17, but she's very thin. She looks like a drowned ghost, truly, with very pale blonde hair. She approaches the cart to look at the bodies. And Lemma, you immediately see that she is someone you know not as Lorelei, but as Lady Laura Vermeer, the corpse from the funeral at which you were kindled. She has not yet seen you, Lemma.
Lemma stops dead. Lemma... Oh, God. Is anyone currently watching Lemma?
Evelyn is usually watching.
What's the text on the telepathic connection?
It says you may open a line of mental communication with one target you can see. This connection lasts until you use this spell to connect with another creature. So it's not reading thoughts, it's just communication.
But nothing about an unwilling subject.
You can not talk to me. You can ask me to turn it off.
I think what you feel, Evelyn, is like the mental equivalent of the steel roll door on the front of a shop slamming down.
Evelyn stops in her tracks.
So Evelyn and Lemma have both stopped in their tracks.
Is everything okay?
Because
I would have noticed both of you stopping suddenly.
Evelyn's looking at Lemma a little hurt and a little confused.
All right, now the bear is watching too, because
yeah, great.
We're all watching.
So Lemma has attracted everyone's attention.
At least the four of us.
Yeah. Oh God, and he's frozen. I think he doesn't know what to do in this moment.
Evelyn says telepathically, "I'm so sorry," and she casts telepathy on OrLeon. who is just perhaps the next person she could see, who also can't talk. So maybe this will be useful. But the point was to get it.
So Evelyn drops the connection with Lemma.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's the first time that's happened.
Yeah, for like 5 episodes or something.
Ow.
But she understood what that meant. She just can't dismiss it, according to the text of the spell. So she has to cast it on someone else.
Oh, man.
And to OrLeon, she says, "I'm so sorry. If there's anything you want to say, just let me know and I'll communicate it to others." But she's chirping. She's rattled, even in her mental communication.
I'm going to assume this has never happened before.
It hasn't, because the only person she's ever done this to is Lemma.
Okay, so Lemma is standing still. Everyone's staring at him. Is anybody around us noticing what's happening?
Everyone is looking at Lorelei. She has touched each of the bodies, taken a moment with each of them, and looks a little tired. She says, in a quiet voice that carries to Kiva, "I'm ready if everyone else is. They can take their time." And Kiva says, "All right, everyone. We don't want to keep our guests waiting. Shall we do this now?" And she looks at you and says, Just give us a few moments, all right? It won't take long. It's just a ritual we have."
Did you pass it along to her?
Oh my
Everyone
God.
gathers around, and Lorelei
That's why he said it wasn't necessary.
turns to the group. She says, "Fellowship is usually where I go." She turns to the 2 surviving tough guys. "You won't be surprised that Well's brightest memory was of being with the 2 of you. I know you all were inseparable, and he came to us very alone, thinking he was unique in this world, thinking he was the only one who felt, who noticed the things that we notice. To find all of us, and especially the 2 of you, changed his life in a way that he didn't know was possible. It changed the world for him. And I mean it truly when I say he always specifically hoped that he would die at your side, the 2 of you." He turns to Jacob. "Jacob, I apologize. The memory I saw was a little bit private. I think you don't need me to tell you how much Mariah cared for you. That's even the right word. You are shadows and you were each other's shadow. And she also lived and died exactly as she chose, but that doesn't make it easier for you. Just know that her memory of you, of her fellowship with you, burned very, very brightly. And if you want to talk about that more, we can do that." She turns back to the group and says, "2 fellows gone back into the ward. More jacks to the shadow. What do we regret?" And everyone calls out as one, "Nothing. Never." He goes, "A shadow jack cannot regret anything she chose freely. Thank you, Lorelei. Are you all right?" "Just a little tired, but 2 is fine. Thank you." And she turns to you all and gives you a little smile. Her eyes linger on Lemma. She looks confused, uncertain. It's clear she's not quite recognizing you, but you're bothering her. She's wondering if she should recognize you.
Lemma is, I think, tracking that he's not being recognized. And he relaxes ever so slightly.
I'm definitely side-eyeing Lemma. I'm trying to figure out what is happening now? Like, what are you hiding now? Although in a concerned way, not a "you bastard" kind of way.
And Kiva strides up and claps the 2 of you on the shoulders. "All right, well, they're all about to get very drunk, and I'd rather join them, but I understand that you've got to interrogate me, or whatever it is. To be honest, I'm probably easier to interrogate while I'm drunk, so can we do that?" That's also an important part of the ritual, honoring the dead.
Can I say to Evelyn, in my mind, I don't know what you're doing here. I don't know what's going on. But if she wants to drink, we should say yes. In vino veritas, we must respect their own relationship to death.
You're quite right. And we're here because I think she might have information about what's happened, what we've done. She doesn't want to say it, even just telepathically between OrLeon.
No, I mean, I don't know what you're doing here in my head.
Oh, that's just, we can talk to one another. It's just, I learned it at, if you don't like it, I can try it on Ginny. I have to give it to someone else to get rid of it. And that's, yes.
Where was it before?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
I'll say yes.
Later.
And Evelyn turns to, yes, later. Well, anytime. I'm here.
Already more words than
No, I know.
We're
She's a little like,
exchanging,
hey, buddy, calm down.
4 real-time days. Yeah.
What's with all the talking?
No one has told Kiva no, so she is striding towards where there's,
Evelyn says, yes, of course, we'll join you.
and she moves very quickly.
Evelyn hurries after her. Anything to get away from this right now.
She teleports from one shadow to another and reappears with stoops of wine
Evelyn desperately wants to know, how does she do that?
and a bottle towards to Ginny. I think she thinks Ginny is the one most likely to accept the bottle. I think OrLeon is still a bear. So she's not going to pass the bottle directly to a bear. She's not.
Do you have a bowl?
Do I have a bowl? Boy, likely somewhere.
For the bear.
Oh,
I take the bottle out of politeness because someone just, showed me hospitality. Although I am going to inspect this bottle.
Mal, fetch us a bowl, will you? Oh, we've got to water the bear, haven't we?
The bear grunts in approval. And I say thank you.
And someone brings a bowl, and
You don't have to drink it, Evelyn says in his head.
and she's pouring a healthy amount of, or an unhealthy amount of wine into the bowl. She's like, kneels down, and as she's kneeling down, so any of you have what names should I call you by? They don't have to be your real ones. Just, supposed to, hey bear fella, hey ginger, hey bookworm, hey handsome. What should?
She thinks I'm handsome. You can call me Evie.
Evie? Huh? All right. Ginger, bear fella, and handsome it is.
Actually, I do look around and say,
Maybe your name is Ginger. That's
it's
not a bad name.
Well,
Did I guess it?
it's close. You can call me Genevieve.
Genevieve. That suits you.
Mm.
Well, come around the fire.
And Lemma actually does answer her question, and he says, Hawthorne.
Hawthorne. All right.
And Lemma shoots purposeful glances at the rest of the group with the subtext, don't fucking narc.
Having a hard time catching Evelyn's eye.
Can you roll a deception for me?
Sure.
Just Lemma.
Would that be a presence?
And you can add the inscrutable to it.
Oh, amazing. So that's going to be, I think quite appropriately, a 20 with fear.
I would say that Lemma is very scared right now.
All right. Thank you. All right. And she beckons you by the large fire at the center. People are gathering around, drinking to the fallen. They're giving her and you space. They're on sort of one side of the fire. Or maybe they're giving OrLeon, the bear, space. Hard to tell. Apologies. But you have relative privacy as the sun sets. All right. First of all, a toast to your skills, your acumen, your cleverness. You're probably the first folks who've seen this camp not bound and gagged. That's later if you're interested.
not very easy to bound or gag.
I think she means if you're willing.
Oh, well. And then she doesn't finish the thought.
Evelyn's done some reading.
Yes.
I read about a lot of things.
Hey, so is Lemma. We know he likes his trashy novels.
It's like this one is called Shibari and You.
Right.
From Socrates to Desaad.
It's a little late to go traipsing to my dad. We can do that in the morning.
Does he turn in early?
No, and neither do the things he lives near and amongst.
He doesn't live in this camp.
No, not quite, not anymore. That's part of the problem. But I do visit.
What problem?
Oh, you probably thought I was using colorful language when I called him a madman. But no, his
Is he dangerous?
knowledge can be, but he probably won't attack you, no.
Evelyn is extraordinarily offended by that suggestion.
He's lingered too long someplace dangerous.
Where?
Now, for the first time, she looks uncomfortable. You know, you remind me of someone who came around asking questions like that. You remind me of her a lot, actually.
What happened to her?
I think she got scared off. Tristan might know. Tristan! Is Tristan here? Did he come back? Does anyone know? And someone, Mal, probably who brought the bowl, says, yeah, Tristan just came back. Tristan! Captain wants you. And a young man approaches, about your age, 19, maybe a few years older. Very handsome, classic swoopy hair, strong jaw, gleaming eyes. He comes on over. It looks like he maybe literally just arrived. He's got a bag he was maybe in the process of unpacking. He's dressed a little bit differently than everyone else. This is city-appropriate clothes, not highway robbery, shadow camouflage clothes. Aye, Captain? Oh, right. The guests.
Hello.
And Soren was not, Soren was like kind of standing on the periphery of things before, but he definitely came over here with you. He was not letting you go alone. And his eyes fall on Soren, and he freezes. And his face shifts immediately, like he's going to maybe try to play something off somehow. And Soren stands up. Just, Tristan, what are you doing here? You're not one of these people. Tristan stutters at this, looks back and forth between Soren and Kiva. Kiva looks surprised and amused. She leans back and folds her arms. She very much wants to see how Tristan is going to answer this. Soren, I'm not one of them, but Soren interrupts. Does your master know? Does he know that this is the kind of people that you... He gets interrupted in turn. Soren, you know that Isambard sells rare objects, hard to find objects. He's doing a very calm down kind of tone. His hands are even up like he's soothing an animal. He hired me because he knows I'm someone to not ask questions. Can we all just... Hi, everyone, I'm Tristan. Soren and I have met before.
Hello.
He works at the bookshop. I get deliveries from them for Kitanya. I thought he was...
The one in Whitmore.
Where we're going?
I didn't know that's why we were going there, but I wonder where else he works. Tristan looks at Kiva. You, needed something? I'm starting to forget what. This is very satisfying unto itself. Oh, right. That woman, you brought boy, looking for the Sallow Ring. And he looks a little uncomfortable and looks at all of you. Are you sure you want me to talk about that in front of them?
What's a Sallow Ring?
It's a whole thing, sort of a mythical place.
Well, we're here for the night.
Oh, what's the question, Kiva? They want to know what happened to the woman, I suppose. Well, I think she went back to the conjuries, she didn't want to end up like your father, I suppose. Made the right choice.
Which conjuries?
Vespertine?
What was her name?
Fedra. I shouldn't have... Kiva, you got me... You can't ambush me like this. I'm not... I'm not the type to just give out people's...
Excuse me, when did you take her?
Oh, while ago, not 6 months, 9 months, something like that. We've been talking about it for a little bit.
And you found what you were looking for?
Possibly.
And then she left?
Yeah.
Where did she go?
Like I said, I don't know for sure. Probably, I don't know for sure. That wasn't my business.
Do you know why she wanted to go there?
I don't know you. I don't know. Kiva, I'm gonna go get a drink.
My name is Evie, and the person you took was my mother, so I would appreciate any answers you could give.
He appraises you. Your mother is fine?
Phaedra from the Vespertine Conjuries.
She was looking for something? Researching something? I helped her find something that was maybe what she was looking for. And then she went on her way. Wasn't injured. It was a bit dangerous, but she was fine after. And you being her daughter doesn't mean I tell you her business. I'm gonna go get a drink. And he walks off.
Evelyn stands up and walks away. Doesn't follow him, but just goes off to be alone.
Kiva looks at you, Evelyn.
Evelyn is gone.
Oh, right. Then looks after. Says, well, that was interesting. I wonder if... Well, now you definitely have to meet my father.
I glaringly look after Tristan, but say this to Kiva, because I didn't get a chance to snap back at Mr. Tristan there, and say, it's a very interesting way to treat your guests.
What is?
I'm not talking about you, Kiva. I'm talking about your friend.
I know. Tristan's all right. I don't know if he's my friend. But yeah,
Well,
he's a good lad.
I think he's disrespectful. That's not a way to treat a worried daughter. Family's important.
He told her what he knew about
Hmm.
her mother's safety.
He was purposely vague.
About the other part.
Yeah, I think that's the part that Evie really wanted to know.
Well, then she'll just have to be a little bit more charming, won't she? You haven't been out in the world much, have you? You haven't met a person whose livelihood involves keeping confidence? He already gave you more information than he should have. She should be grateful for that. And you lot, by the way, haven't even really told me anything.
I haven't lied to you.
Oh, it's not what I said at all.
What do you want to know?
I want to know what you know. Why you're here. If I'm going to bring you anywhere. And I believe there's a reason I should. But you're not as confused as you are to be.
Lemma, because of the place he's in and the sense of... He says something which I think is pretty uncharacteristic. He replies, and you're not as dead as you ought to be.
Interesting, darling. You maybe could have killed me. The bear could have, I suppose. Yet you did very good. And I didn't want you to kill any more of my people. But if it was just me versus all of you, we would have gone on longer. I'm not saying I would have killed the 5 or 6 of you, but you would have found killing me very difficult.
Lemma stands.
Besides which, the fact that we were keeping an eye out for someone, and we didn't know who, but I suspect it's your friend Evie.
Why were you keeping an eye out for her?
We don't know exactly, except that there's someone that belongs to her. And she points to the part of her tattoo that is the drawing of a knife. Evelyn, where are you?
Far enough not to have to listen. She walked to the point where the voices faded out and is just there alone, contemplating.
You did some fast thinking out there today. Very impressive.
Evelyn looks around.
Standing next to you, just on the edge of the shadows, is a man I think you glimpsed Ginny talking with back in Carmela when you were all dealing with the crowd, all dressed neatly, smartly in grays.
The ferryman?
That's what Ginny and OrLeon learned his name to be.
Are you not with the Court of Rain?
I do stop by there from time to time. I don't recall if we properly met while we were both there. I met some of your friends. When I'm there, I go by the ferryman.
The ferryman?
Yes, it's rather sweet, don't you think?
Certainly something, yes. I'm Evie, she says, trying to maintain her cover for wherever the hell they are right now.
You're Evelyn. You're far too important to the fate of Lacuna for me to not know who you are.
I'm sorry, what?
The fate of Lacuna? Fate is sort of my thing.
Oh, that's very... Oh, how do you know me?
You're part of what set
Oh.
all this into motion.
Yes, I am, regrettably.
The cleverness with Glory, for one, but even before that, there have been things in motion. She's been trying to reach you.
Oh, sorry, Glory has been trying to reach me, or someone else?
No, my other daughter.
Do you mean the Queen of Harrows?
I can't take credit for her, not directly.
Then you mean you were referring, of course, then to the other, the one whose name we don't, the fourth name right, of course, that's who you're referring to, is it?
I knew there was a reason she chose you.
What reason would that be, possibly?
Fine.
Evelyn thinks in her mind to OrLeon, oh goodness, I think I need help.
Your mind, your skill. You're not subject to the whims of chance, of chaos. You know there's a path for you.
It doesn't feel that way, especially not right at this moment. What do you mean?
Only you would have known that name instantaneously, said it immediately, freed my poor imprisoned daughter. It had to be you.
Yes, I'm the only one impulsive and foolish enough to have done such a thing. That's right. That makes perfect sense.
Think of it that way if you wish. Or maybe, Evelyn, all of those things in your life, all of those parts of you that annoy you, that you feel are getting in the way of your talent, your dessert, that's just been the world trying to right itself, needing to push and pull you onto the right path. That something is wrong in this land.
So the right path is not doing anything to set things back to the way we were. That's what you think?
Sadly, dear Evelyn, the right path is a bit more active than that.
Yes, of course it is.
Will you sit with me?
When I sit with you.
Maybe-
Evelyn, feeling a little lightheaded, sits just immediately wherever she is standing.
OrLeon calls back to Evelyn and says, what do you need? Are you okay? And growls at Lemma and tries to point with his nose towards Evelyn.
I don't know. I'm very, very frightened. But I might need to be here.
Do you want us to come?
I'm sorry. Evelyn is going to attempt to cast her telepathic bond on the ferryman. She's assuming this is not going to work. But whether it works or not, it will break the connection with OrLeon.
Okay, you can speak into his mind. He has, meanwhile, sees how you've sat and almost crumpled to the ground, and he's kneeled next to you, and he puts a hand on your shoulder. He tucks your hair behind your ear. Says, I'm so sorry, my dear. I know this is overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of what we all need to embrace.
Begging your pardon, but if, and this is all telepathic now, so she's not making any sound in case people come looking for her. She doesn't want to have to, she doesn't want to tell them where she is. Begging your pardon, but if this continues, then won't many people get hurt as they did the other night?
With glory alone? Outraging? Likely.
I mean, you're saying then if this...
Her sister often tempered her.
And her sister is, what is her name?
I do know it. It has to come from her creations, I'm
Right.
afraid.
That would be us.
I can tell you her title. The Queen of Daggers. Let's stop there.
Thank you for listening to Queen of Daggers, Heart of Fire, a production of Hagdeal Gaming. If you like what we're doing here, come say hi on Blue Sky or TikTok at Hagdeal Gaming. Leave us a review. We'd love to know what you think. And remember, as a wise person once said,
It's my first time as a bear. Fuck it all.